Hello, let's get started on our math lesson. We're going to be doing math lesson 4.5. We're going to skip 4.4 because I feel like it's kind of the same practice we've been doing. So we're going to do lesson 4.5. It is on page 194. So if you could go to page 194 in your enVision workbook. We're going to go ahead and get started with our video. This one is going to be talking about explaining multiplication patterns for even and odd numbers. So we're going to learn some strategies that way. That'll be really fun. All right, let's go ahead and start our video.
How can you explain multiplication patterns for even and odd numbers? Think about this question during the lesson. Nita says that the product of an even number and an odd number is always even. Is she correct? Even numbers are whole numbers that can be divided by 2 with none left over. Odd numbers are whole numbers that cannot be divided by 2 with none left over. What do you notice about the digits in the numbers from row to row? How can this help you understand even and odd numbers?
All right, so what do we think about the patterns that we see in each row? And how is that going to help us understand even and odd numbers? We know that the number in the ones column tells us if the whole number is even or odd. So let's see if that strategy can help us out with multiplication.
From row to row, the ones digits stay the same, but the tens digits increase by 1. It is a pattern, so you know that all numbers with 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0 in the ones place are even, and all other numbers are odd.
Okay.
Even numbers have 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 in the ones place.
Okay, we're going to try it now. Right. Explore Nita's
statement. Select a box in the multiplication table to see the product.
Okay. Let's see.
2 times 3 equals 6. 6 equals 2 times 3, so 6 is even. 2 times 5 equals 10. 10 equals 2 times 5, so 10 is even. 2 times 9 equals 18. 18 equals 2 times 9, so 18 is even.
So let's look at the patterns of how the two factors are. Are those factors even numbers? Are those factors odd numbers? Are those factors an even and an odd? Let's see what trends we see.
6 times 3 equals 18. 18 equals 2 times 9. So 18 is even. 6 times 5 equals 30. 30 equals 2 times 15. So
okay, so it looks like
8 times 3 equals 24. 24 equals 2 times 12. So 24 is even.
Okay.
Even numbers greater than 0 can be shown as 2 equal groups. Think about 2 times 3 and 2 times 5. 2 is an even number. 2 times 3 means 2.
Oh. I'm not sure what happened. Let me pause for a second and get back to that. Okay, so I had to start over.
2 times 3 means 2 equal groups of 3. 2 times 5 means 2 equal groups of 5. There are always 2 equal groups, so the product of 2 times any number is even. You can generalize. All even numbers are multiples of 2. Think about 4 times 3. You can think of 4 as 2 groups of 2. Using properties, which is another way to write 4 times 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3.
Select your answer.
Okay, so we've talked about associative property already before. So 4 times 3, we can break it down to 2 times 2 times 3. Or can we break it down to 4 times 3 equals 3 times 3 times 2? Okay, the factors have to remain the same. We can put the parentheses around a different set, but the factors have to stay the same. So we're thinking right here. Good job.
Using properties, you can write 4 times 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3 as 4 times 3 equals 2 times 2 times 3. So
That's a lot of math.
4 times 3 equals 2 times 6. There are 2 equal groups of 6. So the product will be even.
Okay, so let's look at that. 4 times 3 is 12, and 2 times 6 is 12. That's why they can be on both sides of the equation, the equal sign, because they're balanced.
You can write any even number as 2 equal groups. So Nita is correct. Even times odd equals even. Now you know how you can explain multiplication patterns for even and odd numbers.
All right, so let's give it a try in our book. I'm going to go to the camera, and you guys are on page 194. All right, so on page 194, we've got all this stuff from the elf here on here. Try to keep it up here so it's not too distracting. Oh, that's worse. Okay. All right, so in Convince Me, does multiplying by 8 also always result in an even product? Explain. So let's try it. 8 times 1 equals 8. All right. If we try 8, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can match them up with nobody left over. So that one's even. Check. How about 8 times 2? 8 times 2 equals 16. We look at the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we don't have any left over. So that one's even. 8 times 3 is 24. We look at the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even. No extras. Oops, excuse me. All right, let's do 8 times 4. It equals 32. We look at the 2. 1, 2. They're even. That one's even. 8 times 5 equals 40. 0 and 0 is even. So that one works. 8 times 6 equals 48. The 8, we already determined 8 was even. 8 times 7 equals 56. We've already determined that 6 is even. Let's see if I can help you see that a little bit better by blocking this window. All right, 8 times 8 equals 64. We've already decided that 4 is even. 8 times 9 equals 72. 2 is even. 8 times 10 equals 80. And we know that 0 is even. Okay, so does multiplying by 8 also always result in an even product? We've gone all the way up to 10. So, yes, 8 will always have an even product. Okay, let's see if you can see that all right. Yes, 8 will always have an even product. When 8 is one of the factors, it will always have an even product. Whether it's multiplied by an odd or an even, it will always have an even product. All right, so pause right here if you need to keep writing. And then when you're done, we're going to go over here and look at the top of page 195. An odd number cannot be divided by 2 with none left over. Think about 3 times 5. 3 cannot be divided by 2 with none left over. 5 cannot be divided by 2 with none left over. So 3 times 5, both odd numbers equal 15. 15 is odd. Both factors are odd. Odd numbers cannot be divided into 2 equal groups with none left over. So odd times odd equals odd. Okay, I want you to write right up here. We're going to make a little box. Something to remind you. Okay? Whenever you have an even number times an even number, the answer, the product, will be even. Whenever you have an even number times an odd number, the answer will be even. Whenever you have an odd number times an odd number, the answer will always be odd. So if even is any part of the factors, the answer is going to be even. So let's test that out. Even and even. 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 is an even number. 2 times 3, which is an odd number, equals 6. But 6 is an even number. 3 times 3 equals 9. And 9 is an odd number. And we can test it out. I can test out 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when I line them up, this guy is an odd man out. He doesn't have anyone. All right, so that's just an easier formula. So whenever we see a multiplication problem, if we see 2 odd numbers, we know that the product is going to be odd, and that'll help us make sure that we're getting the correct answer. So let's go to guided practice. If you multiply 2 even numbers, will the product be even or odd? Explain with an example, okay? If you multiply 2 even numbers, the product will always be even. Okay? Trying to see if I can find something that can kind of block the light a little bit here so you can see. Oh, what a challenge here. Our little elf. Okay. All right, so for example, 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. 6 times 6 equals 36. And 8 times 8 equals 64. And 10 times 10 equals 100. All right, so 4 is even, 6 is even, 6 is even, 4 is even, and 0 is even. So there's some examples right there. You go ahead and pause if you need to get that written down. All right, we're going to go over to do you know how? It says write or circle to complete the sentences. Explain whether the product is even or odd, and then solve. 4 times 6, even number, times even number is going to equal an even answer. Can 4 be divided by 2? If I take 4 divided by 2, I get 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. So, yes. Can 6 be divided by 2? Okay, so 6 divided by 2 will equal 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So, yes. So, 4 times 6 is even. 4 times 6 is 24. So that could be the same as doing 4 times 2 times 3. That would make 4 times 6. Or we could do 4 times 2 times 3, which would equal 8 times 3, which equals 24. All right. That's just a lot of extra. You don't have to write this part down. This part's just extra right here. All right, so we did all of the evens last time, so this time we're going to do the odds. So circle 3 and 5. In 3 through 5, circle the factors that can be divided by 2. Then write even or odd to describe the product and solve the equation. All right, it says circle the factors that can be divided by 2. Can I divide 9 by 2? Nope, that's an odd. Can I divide 5 by 2? Nope, that one's an odd as well. So I know that my product is going to be odd. 9 times 5 is odd. 9 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's 45. Okay? Try to get in there closer for you. Okay. Then number 5, 4 times 8. 4 is an even number, and 8 is an even number, so the answer is going to be an even number. So 4 times 8 is even, and 4 times 8 equals, what does it equal, guys? Do you remember? 32. All right, make sure you have everything written down. Press pause if you need to get any of this down. We're going to flip it to the back page, and we're going to circle all of the odd problems. Try to make sure this stays up so I can block it a little bit. It's kind of bright. Okay, so in 6 through 8, use the table at the right. Look at the factors, write even or odd to describe the product, and then solve. So we're going to do 7, and we're going to do 9. Let's look at 7. How many miles did Caitlin bicycle in 8 days? Okay, so let's find Caitlin. She went 6 per day, so 8 times 6. So we have an even times an even, so that means the product is going to be even. And that will equal 48. Okay. Go ahead and get that written down in your book. Okay, number 9 says, Ryan says that the following patterns are true. Even times an odd equals an even, and odd times an even equals an odd. Is he correct? Explain. Okay, let's look at that. Even times an odd equals an odd times an even equals an odd. So he's saying that whichever one is first is how the product is going to be. Is he correct? Let's do an example. 2 times 3, 2 is even, 3 is odd, equals 6, which is even. And 3 times 2 equals 6. Odd versus, or times even, equals even. Is he correct? No. Any time you multiply with an even number, the product will be even. Okay, no matter what. As long as there's one even number, then the product is going to be even. remember our little formula. Even times even equals even. Even times odd equals even. And odd times odd equals odd. So the only time you're going to get an odd answer is if you have two factors that are odd, odd numbers. Okay, let's go to number 11. If you need to pause this right here so you can get to that. Get all of that written down in your book. All right, we're going to go to number 11. The bakery has 84 muffins. I know that 4 is an even number. Ms. Craig buys 5 packs of 6 muffins. Did Ms. Craig purchase an even number of muffins or an odd number of muffins? Okay, so the first question, question 1 right here. Did she purchase an even number of muffins or an odd number? Okay, so we have an even number, 6 times 5, that's even. So we have an even times an odd will equal an even. Okay, so did she purchase an even number or an odd number? She purchased an even number. Is the number of muffins left over even or odd? Explain your answer. Okay, so we're going to take 84 muffins and take away the 30 that she purchased. 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. So is our answer even? It's even, isn't it? Okay. Because there was at least one even factor, the answer will be even. Kind of had to write that crooked, didn't I? Well, I suppose I didn't have to write it crooked, but see if you can get that written down there. Because there was at least one factor, even factor, the answer will be even. Okay, go ahead and get that written down. Okay, if you're still not finished, go ahead and push pause. We're going to move on. Try to get up here so we can see that. All right, number 13. So we're going to do odds here. Choose all of the equations that do not have even products. Okay, odd times an odd. This one will not have an even product. Even plus an odd. This will be even. Odd times an odd. This will be odd. Even times an even. That's going to be even. And even times an even. That's going to be even. So the only ones that are going to be odd are the ones that have factors that are already odd. Okay, hopefully that helps explain. All right, we're going to go over the homework real quick. Okay, it says, even numbers have 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 in the ones place. Odd numbers have 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 in the ones place. Think about the numbers 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. When you divide these numbers by 2, nothing is left over. These numbers are even. So 0 and 0, that's even. 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 6 and 6, 8 and 8. All even numbers can be shown as two equal groups. When multiplying, if one factor is even, the product will be even. 4 times 5, which is an odd, equals 2 times 2 times 5. 4 times 5 equals 2 times 2 times 5. So 4 times 5 equals 2 times 10. The product is 2 equal groups of 10. Boy, that was a lot to say. An even times an even equals an even. An even times an odd equals an even. And if you want to flip it, odd times an even will equal an even. And an odd times an odd will equal an odd. Okay? So this might help you right away identify if this is going to be an even or an odd answer. And that's helpful because if you want to check your work to make sure you got the right answer, you can always use this formula to help you with that. Okay? Think about the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 when you divide these numbers by 2. There is 1 left over. These numbers are odd. So we have 1. There's nothing, nothing, and 1. 3, dividing it by 2, you'd still have 1 over. 5 would have these divided out, but 1 extra. 7 would have these, but 1 extra. 9 would have these, but 1 extra. You cannot think of odd numbers as 2 equal groups with none left over. When multiplying, if both factors are odd, the product will be odd. 7 times 5 equals 35. 1 times 9 equals 9. So let's give an example. I'm going to write an example right here. Okay? Let's say I do 6 times 7 equals 43. Can that be possible? How do I know if my answer is right? What if that's how I memorized it? Okay, I can see that this is an even and this is an odd. And so this needs to be an even answer. And 3 is not even. So this would be incorrect. And that way I can say, oh, okay, if there's an even times an odd and I got an odd answer, then I did something wrong and I can redo it. Okay. All right, we're going to go down here. We're going to circle all of the odds. So 1, 3, 5, 7. Let's talk about these. In 1 through 4, circle the digit in the ones place and then write even or odd. So you're looking in the ones place, circle the ones place. Is it even or odd? You can write E or O for these. Circle the factors that can be divided by 2, then write even or odd to describe the product, and then solve. Kind of the same as we did on the other page. 7 times 4 would be even or odd. 7 times 4 equals 28. Okay, so then we're going to do the same for number 7. All right, turn the page. Okay, we're going to go to, whoopsie, sorry guys. I'm knocking things over. I just knocked my water bottle over. Silly me. Okay, sorry. Back at it. Number 9. Don says that 9 times 9 is even. Is he correct? Explain. Okay. Number 11. Sandra has 18 bags of peanuts to hand out to 9 friends. Miss Sandra and my name, Sandra, has 18 bags of peanuts to hand out to 9 friends. How many bags can she give each friend? Draw a bar diagram to help you solve. Alrighty. And number 13, choose all of the equations with odd products. With odd products. Okay. You can always go back and look. We've written our little formula to see that can help you out. All right. And then we're going to correct our homework tomorrow. Let me go ahead and come back out here. All right, so we're going to correct our homework tomorrow, and guess what? Then we will do an interactive notebook, and that will be the last math thing we're going to do for this year. Now, does that mean 3rd grade year? No. For the year 2020, that's the last math one we'll do for 2020. But in 2021, we'll come back and finish up topic 4. But I do think that these little tricks and these little strategies are fun. And so I hope that you can find them to be fun too. The even and the even, and the even and the odd, and the odd and the odd. Those are fun ones, and they're very helpful too. They'll be very helpful. All right, so I'm going to have you go ahead and get started on your homework. Do all of the odds. Make sure you're ready for us to correct it tomorrow. and then we will be finishing up. We will not have to worry about another math problem for the rest of December. All right. I do hope, though, that you will be practicing over Christmas break, because you don't want to come back in January and be rusty. You want to make sure that you're strong. So keep practicing a little bit at a time. If you have flashcards, that's a fun game to play. You can try to play the game War. You can try to play Around the World. You can play a race. Practicing your math facts would be a lot of fun, and it'd be very helpful. All right, guys. I'm going to head over to do our read aloud, so I will see you there.